Progressive University of Malaya stands in solidarity with Dr. Azmi Sharom as he braced himself for the decision of the Federal Court regarding to his challenge on the constitutionality of the Sedition Act tomorrow. Progressive University of Malaya wishes to reiterate the stand and position taken by us in the coalition of solidarity for Azmi Sharom a year ago. Our demands remain the same, which include Mansur Akta Hasutan, defend academic freedom, and stop all selective prosecution towards dissenting voices in this country. Prime Minister Najib Razak has gone against his promise to repeal the Sedition Act. And we all know that the Act was strengthened earlier this year to include harsher punishment such as mandatory minimum sentence, emphasis given on the fact that it curbs freedom in the cyberspace. Azmi Sharom's case is significant as it will determine the fate of others charged with the Sedition Act as well. Some of those cases has been postponed pending Azmi Sharom's case. As most of us are law students in the Faculty of Law, University of Malaya, we experience being taught by Dr. Azmi Sharom, and we wish to still see him around by the time we graduate. We hope that our juniors, as well as the next generation of law students to come, will get to enjoy his lectures too. To ensure that that will happen, we must speak up now more than ever. The Sedition Act was being used upon Azmi Sharom is trampling into the sphere of academic freedom in campus and off campus. Students and academics should be free to express their opinions without interference. Sedition Act on Azmi Sharom seeks to create a culture of fear, which will then lead to self-censorship in the academia. This is not healthy at all. Quality tertiary education depends on the concept of academic freedom very much, such as the freedom to do research, the freedom of thought, and the freedom to share ideas among peers in the academia. The decision at the Federal Court tomorrow will test the strength of our judiciary to convince the public in its decision and also the standards of human rights in this country. With this, we urge all citizens, academics, concerned citizens, academics, students, and activists to be in solidarity with Dr. Azmi Sharom on the day of the decision at the Palace of Justice, Putrajaya, 9 a.m., Tuesday, 6 October 2015, which is tomorrow. We call for the public to support our cause in this time of difficulty for both Azmi Sharom and the Faculty of Law. Mansur Akta Hasutan, defend academic freedom, stop selective prosecution.
As Vincent said, tomorrow's Federal Court decision is tremendously important, not only for academic freedom in Malaysia, but also for human rights. The decision tomorrow hangs upon whether this colonial era law that was put in place by our former rulers to repress dissent, to repress questioning of the abuse of power, will be deemed legitimate as a law of Malaysia. It flies in the face of our fundamental freedoms enshrined in our federal constitution. It has been used to persecute people who have spoken out against the abuses of power or have even simply offered their informed academic opinion about developments in the country. It stands as a tremendous barrier towards progress and the deepening of democratization in Malaysia. We hope that tomorrow's Federal Court judgment will find in favor of Azmi Sharom and his lawyers. If it doesn't, then we can expect over the next years to see a cascade of human rights violations in the form of negative decisions made in the courts against all the sedition cases which have been pending as a result of tomorrow's decision. So tomorrow's decision has held up many other sedition cases in court, activists, politicians, dissidents, and so forth. And these cases are likely to be resolved within the next year if tomorrow's judgment goes against Azmi Sharom. If tomorrow's judgment falls in favor of human rights and Azmi's case, then we could see all these cases thrown out of court because they would be declared fundamentally unconstitutional. Now, if that doesn't happen, then we will see the other cases move forward. We will also probably see the recent amendment to the Sedition Act that was made in April come through. That includes mandatory jail sentences, stiffer penalties. It's got penalties for up to 20 years in jail, equivalent to the manslaughter for the act of sedition. We can see a very bleak outlook for human rights in Malaysia if this goes through. So we hope that the Federal Court will uphold human rights with their decision tomorrow, and we will all be there in solidarity with Azmi Sharom and in solidarity with all those who wish to speak up for freedom in Malaysia. Thank you.
Mansur Akta Hasutan!